off to do other things here. So what we can do now is we can step this direction over here, and I'm going to give you a closer look at our trellis system. That's really what makes us stand out. Okay, now throughout the years we have the coffee process that we have today. So it all started with the animals. Alright, we're going to go ahead and step this direction to the second process of our coffee. How's it going? We can go ahead and close that door. Thank you.
We have everybody?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, sure. We can wait for no.
Don't worry about it, it's okay.
In the meantime, I'll pass around some examples. What the beans look like after we process them at the wet mill. There's actually another layer of skin located on the beans. Kind of like peanut skin.
It's good.
Yeah. Alright. So the dry mill is in charge of separating this new layer of skin from the beans. Okay, the wet mill separates the red skins, the dry mill separates what I call the peanut skin. So we run it through this piping system right here on the left, and there's a grinder located on the top that's circular. You can see a lot of the skins attached on the right hand side. So once it's separated from the skins, then the green beans are dropped into this machine here on the right. So this machine on the right has 6 different layers of mesh that are all different sizes. So as a machine rapidly vibrates, it'll separate the beans by different size. And these can all come from a single tree. So we have extra fancy, pea-berry, #1, prime, and mother beans. And these are not specifically our names, these are the names in general of the different type of coffee beans. Okay? So once we sort it by size, then we sort it by density. This machine over here is our density machine. It's got a special material on the top, along with air coming out from the bottom, and the machine also rapidly vibrating, sends the heavier beans floating to the top and the lighter beans floating to the bottom. So size and density is how we determine quality. So when we're dealing with the largest and heaviest bean, it's extra fancy and fancy. And these two combined make the Trillis Reserve, which is our premium coffee. This is the one that competed internationally and got the Blue Ribbon Award for first place. It's also the one that was served at the White House before. So thank you, taxpayers. Alright, including myself. And then our second best is a Trillis Signature. So when we get to the gift shop after the tour is concluded, you'll get to sample the Trillis Signature in medium roast or dark roast, so you can compare the two. Right. And then we have Pea-berry. This one kind of stands out in its own category. The Pea-berry is a lot smaller and a lot more rounded from all the other beans.
Is this from a different company?
Okay, I'll explain the Pea-berry in just a moment. So you can see it kind of looks like peas, smaller and more rounded, very distinguished. What happens with the Pea-berry is in the cherry you have 2 seeds like we just noticed. But with the Pea-berry it's a rare process where there's only one. One of them dies, and so the surviving bean gets twice as much of the nutrients, oils, and caffeine, which causes the Pea-berry to be the smoothest tasting of all our beans. So it's considered the tea of coffee. If you want the smoothest, the Pea-berry is recommended. Okay? So that we're not over roasting. Okay? So after we cut off the power, instead of leaving the beans inside the roaster, where the hot oils can still continue to roast the beans, we dump it down the chute into this agitator system, and then it's rapidly cooled down to maintain better quality. Alright. So I have medium, dark, and espresso. What do you think has the highest caffeine content? Anybody want to take a guess? Espresso? So that's the most common answer, but I'm going to tell you why it's incorrect. Medium roast is roasted the shortest period of time. So a lot of the oils and caffeine are still within the bean.
Oh.
Espresso is roasted the longest period of time, so a lot of the oils and caffeine have been extracted, but you're left with a stronger flavor. So
So in 5 minutes, Jody's going to have a lot of extra energy.
Oh, you have medium roast? Yeah.
Medium is actually
The most caffeinated, yep. So if you want the stronger flavor, then espresso is recommended, but if you want something in between, then dark roast is recommended. You have more flavor than medium and more caffeine than espresso. Alright, that's the both roasts. So after we're done roasting, then we're ready to package. This machine over here to my right is called a Rovima. This is our packaging machine, one of our packaging machines. It does it all in one motion. It's pneumatic, so it's mostly powered by air. It'll get the film from the roll, it'll label the film front and back, and then it applies a one-way valve on the film. Through this one-way valve, it allows the gases from the coffee to escape out of the package, but it won't allow any air back in. So, after it seals it, if you don't open the package, you can store your coffee for a year and still maintain quality. If you do open the package, we recommend 8 months for beans, 6 months for grounds, because it does have a heavy-duty Ziploc tie, so you can squeeze the air out of it and maintain quality. Grounds, shorter period of time, because grounds are more susceptible to moisture. That's why. And I do have an example to show you. There it is.
So are all your bags like that?
Yes. Yeah, the one-way valve and the Ziploc tie.
So you don't actually vacuum pack it, suck the air out?
What we do is we nitrogen flush the packages, which will push out the oxygen that has the moisture. So after you open it, you just